Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of iDiscuss. In this episode, we are going to talk about words. To be more precise, the power of words. As you know, words are not only crucial in human psychology, but they are very important when it comes to manifestation. The power of words are unimaginable. You cannot imagine what kind of things you can manifest into your life if you know how to manage your language. So let's get started. As you know, everything is made of frequencies as well as the words. If you write down something on the paper, it kinda gets the energy, and the emotions you're writing those words with also has some power. As well as the words that you say yourself, the words that you repeat yourself also have some power, not only on your own self, but also the people surrounding you. Therefore, when you talk about something, be careful of the words that you choose. Be careful of the intonation, because everything affects your current life, which also has some consequences. The words that you use now can become your future. If you are interested in law of attraction, then you are probably familiar with several methods. And if you paid enough attention, then you can realize that all those methods are related to words. Affirmations, subliminals, as well as absurd methods, like the methods that seem absurd as two-cup methods, they all rely on words. How words can affect our lives. So let's first analyze several manifestation methods. The first and the most popular one is scripting. What is scripting? When you are scripting, you are actually writing down the life you want as if you already have that in the form of gratitude. For instance, if I want to have lots of money, and if I am going to script, I am writing down some things like that. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing amounts and I get whatever I want. I am abundant and I can buy whatever I want and whenever I want. So you're basically writing the thing that you want as if you got that. But why? Why do we do that? Because everything in the universe that we are going to get or we had actually do exist. Thoughts are frequencies, we are frequency, spirit also. It all exists everywhere at the same time. Let's say if you want to earn $1 million, that $1 million already exists in the world. No one is going to invent that $1 million. It's already there and it's waiting for you. That's why when you write that, you are actually switching your frequency to that. Like you become kind of a magnet which attracts that money. When you script, your brain also gets the information and you are somehow avoiding the negative frequencies, the negative emotions. What are frequencies? Frequencies that we always talk about are nothing more than our emotions. Even when you write something, you get the image of something. Let's say before these cell phones were invented, someone had that in their mind. Someone had the image on their mind. That's why, just think for a second how powerful our thoughts can be. When we think about something, we don't only resonate some frequencies, but also we create an image of a certain event in our minds. When you do it regularly, you attract the energy more and more, and one day you manifest it. You actually manifest it into your life. Just think about it. Just by writing, you can manifest something. However, not everyone who writes can get whatever they want because there are some techniques. And what are those techniques? The language, actually being able to use the right language. So here comes the power of words. When you script something like that, I don't have any economic problems. I don't have any issues with money. when you actually write down that, you don't focus on abundance, but whatever you write is, you just see issues with money. And that don't is just a particle. The language of universe is the same. The universe does not understand negatives. When you write down, I don't have any issues with money, then the first image comes to your mind is the issues with money. So if you switch some tiny things, like instead of writing that, if you write I am abundant and I can buy whatever I want and whenever I want, actually you are focusing on the right frequencies. Here is the true power of language. Master how to use language. Besides, there is another technique that I think can be useful. If you speak a few languages, try to script in the language that you are less familiar with. Let's say if your native language is Russian, try to script in English, because when you speak in a complete different language, then the images in your mind are more clear, then your judgment is more fair. Let's say when we're emotional, we are mainly tend to be more emotional and think more in our language. Even if you're bilingual, the language that you're using more frequently comes to your help when you are in your peak. When you're extremely sad or when you're extremely happy, you show your gratitude by using that language. That's why, to be more precise, to be more concrete, try to use a language that you're less familiar with, is like for sure if you are bilingual, if you're multilingual. The second technique is called affirmations. So what are affirmations? Basically, you repeat every day yourself that I am one of the most beautiful creatures in the universe. I am smart. I am powerful. I am abundant. Like you repeat, you affirm some certain things. And also, when you do it out loud. So you pronounce the words, you hear the words that you say, you hear the exact same sentence that you say, and it also affects your brain. So it has, let's say, two different effects, psychological and in terms of energy. You send some frequencies to the universe, and those frequencies come back, as well as you dictate your own conscious. You kind of get some certain information into your subconscious. When you repeat something, you start doing that thing subconsciously. Let's say when you move to a new house, until you adapt, you kind of try to be cautious. But once you adapt, even if you're sleepy, even if it's completely dark inside the house, you can find whatever you want there subconsciously because you repeat it every day. That's why repetition is the key, as well as hearing some things. Repeating some things is important because once your subconscious mind absorbs the information, you are more likely to manifest things into your life. So affirmations. Also, the same rules are legit here. You don't have to use negative language. You have to only repeat positive things. And consistency is the key here. Do it every day. The third technique is 2 cups method. Also, in some religious ceremonies, rituals, they use water for some certain things because water has memory, and it is scientifically proven that water has memory. Water even keeps the information that dates back billions of years. When you use this technique, what you do, you take 2 cups. 1 cup must be empty, the other cup must be filled with water. The cup that is filled with water is your current life, is your current universe. And you have to jump to the parallel universe where you have the things that you want. What you do? First, you take and hold the cup, which is filled with water, and remember all your sorrows, all the bad moments. Try to reach the peak of your emotions because, as we have just mentioned, emotions are frequencies. Once you get that done, pour the water into another cup. But this time, before you drink that, imagine again, try to reach the peak of your emotions, but imagine positive things, the things that you manifest in your life, how you're going to use that, how you're going to feel when you get that thing. And once you feel ready, drink that water, and the water remembers what you put into that. Eventually, you will manifest that. Some people claim that this is overnight manifestation. Some people say that you must repeat that, but it's up to your frequency, the frequency that you are in, and the moment that you're doing that. The more you believe, the more you use your emotions, the more you know the right words, the right techniques, then you're gonna get whatever you want. Much faster, much easier. Then we have another technique, or another method, ritual, whatever you like to call that, sigils. So how do we make sigils? Also, we use words. The words have the greatest power you can ever imagine. Our thoughts have even more power because they exist everywhere. They're omnipresent. They are everywhere. How do we create sigils? There are various methods, and you better Google that before you do, but my favorite method is by the Storgel, the Practical Witch. So again, you use words and you create your own magic. When you create a sigil, you also have to write a sentence, and the power of your sigil depends on the sentence you write. The same rules here. We revised everything based on the law of attraction, and let's analyze the power of words in terms of psychology. Bringing up a child is one of the hardest things in this life. You have to know how to form a pure spirit into a mature one. It's like art. You are growing one spirit little by little. You're making it to get some certain shape. Therefore, when you are a parent and you are responsible for a life, you have to be careful of the language you use. Let's say your child always forgets something when the child comes home. Instead of saying, "Oh, you forgot that again," try to say, "What do you remember?" Try to remember what you have to do. Because when you say, "What you forgot again," you forgot closing the door again, you forgot locking the door again, you actually putting the wrong frequencies. You're actually giving that child negative energies, and the subconscious mind just absorbs the information like a sponge, and your child every day keeps forgetting, and you can even destroy one person's life. The child can become a very forgetful person. So when you try to communicate with your child, be careful, because the language you use can determine everything. If your child's handwriting is terrible, instead of saying that his handwriting is bad and he can't even write and so on, try to use a more positive language, and eventually you will see the results, because words have more power than you imagine, that you can ever imagine. Try to use the right language. It is the same for your partner. Let's say if you fight with your partner a lot, instead of saying, "Oh, you're such a problem and we fight all the time," try to say that we can find solutions. We are mature people and we can always find solutions, because solutions are there. If there is a problem, there is also a solution. Considering everything we have said, now think about it. Think about it one more time. The power of words, the power of language, the way how we express ourselves. A simple shift can change your whole life. So, if you want to change your character, if you want to even change who you are, if you want to become your higher self, the person you always want, first, change the language you use. You might use the techniques that are mentioned in this podcast, or if you don't believe in the law of attraction, then everyone believes in human psychology. So try to change the language you use in your daily life. Whatever you say, your subconscious mind absorbs that. You get that energy. I hope you have a very wonderful day. You are all bright souls. Take care and see you in our next